Having been scheduled as a season finale multiple times from 2004, a number of F1 drivers have been crowned world champions here in Brazil. In 2019, Max Verstappen's Red Bull became the first Honda-powered car to win at Interlagos since Ayrton Senna's McLaren back in 1991. The circuit underwent renovations during the late 60s with the hope that modern facilities would entice the FIA to host a Formula 1 GP. After hosting a non-championship GP in '72, the attendance of over 100,000 people, the FIA agreed to host the championship.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to RTG TV for the GP2 race and the final race of week 4 in season 15. We're here at Brazil, the Interlagos circuit. It's got 2 DRS zones, 15 corners. It's 4.309 kilometres and 2.677 miles in length. The tyres will be running around here at the C4 soft tyres, C3 medium tyres and C2 hard compound tyres. Pippo Kennedy is leading the Drivers' Championship at the moment. He's on 75 points and only won the first round this season so far. Chuck is in second in the championship on 57 and 59 points for 53 points, sorry, for Koiks Gamer in third. Ginge is fourth, and fifth is Tiny. The constructors are as follows. The top 3, 89 points for Williams, 83 points for Aston Martin and 73 points for McLaren. As you can see, we've got 18 drivers this evening, 16 of those being full-time, and the 2 reserves are Harrison and Prodigy. I believe Harrison is a new driver. I'm just trying to work out who he is. It might be... Bear with me, I can actually work out who this is, because I believe it's a new driver, unless we've had an odd one out. Just give me 2 seconds, I'm going to check. Alpine. So it must be Matter... Oh no, it's not, it's Sticky Panda, who's Harrison. Prodigy is the other one, and he's in the Haas. There you go, so it's all cleared up. So that's 16 full-time and 2 reserves. And there's no lead this evening. I think I just said that. There's no lead this evening, but we will have another commentator turning up. He's just running a little bit late. Liam-esque, as I've called him, and he's been in Burt Rubber Racing, I think the first race of the season on this channel, and he'll be with us shortly. So we'll get the tyres up, everyone, because we know what time it is at the moment. It's intermediate championship time, and Prodigy is leading the way on that one, but he's reserved. So again, just like the rules in normal in RTG, I'll be sticking to those same rules as well. Royal Rumble's at the fastest lap time on the softs so far, but Tiny's up there with a 1:12.423 with the fastest intermediate lap. Koiks Gamer is yet to set one. A Super Striker now comes in after setting his intermediate time. We've got Koiks Gamer, who is going to be, I think, probably the last one already to set an intermediate time. As he makes his way through turn 1. And as he makes his way out of turn 4 and 5 and up to Ferragula, turn 7 and 8. Oh, 6 and 7, missing 6 there. Now into turn 8, it'll be quite tricky. Right-hander. And then back to the left again. And into Pica de Passo. So, as we wait to see what Koitsgamer can do here, we didn't have an intermediate championship last week because it wasn't dry conditions, and Koitsgamer goes 9th, which means Tiny would get that one for this week. We have got a little bit more time on the clock for the intermediate championship. We've got just over a minute for someone to start a lap on the inters, but it doesn't look like we're going to see anyone else set a lap. Is Chuckle set a lap on the wets? Don't think he got the memo this week, but it's the green banded tyres that we need. And Looney Man took part as well.
In the 2016 Brazilian GP, he became the youngest driver to have ever set fastest lap record at just a month over 19 years old.
So Lee out on the track on dry tyres is what they would normally do. So as we see the number 3 Red Bull make his way down into Cedar del Lago and now out towards 6 and 7 of Ferradula. Tricky 2 corners to get right here. And into turn 8. And now turn 9 and 10, Pico de Passo and with Giulio turn 11, and then into the final braking zone of the lap at Young Cow. And he sets a lap time of 1:08.7. The benchmark that we've had here previously was 1:07.8, I believe, the last time we were here. So how else have we got Chuck assessing a lap here as he makes his way down towards turn 4 and 5. Be careful on the exit there as well. The curb is a bit of a tricky one. It's an easy place to caught out with track limits. Through turn 8 now, the left-hander before we go up to Pico de Passo. Careful on the exit there as well. Traction zone, it's a really important traction zone. From Giulio into Young Cow, really important to get the exit right here, of course, with a foot flat to the floor all the way to the line. And we'll go through this left-hander. Turn 14, DRS open, take the shortest run to the line to the pit entry, and he goes fastest with a 1:08.553. Bear with me just 2 seconds, everyone.
The last time two drivers took the first podium finish in the same race was back in 1994 at the German Grand Prix. The Brazilian Grand Prix of 2008 was the scene of one of the closest title battles in F1 history. Lewis Hamilton shackled the dreams of Beatie to take the championship in the final corner on the final lap of the race. Throwback circuit, built in the 1940s, it's been updated just enough over the years to meet the requirements of the FIA without destroying the track's essential character. With construction starting in 1936, the Sao Paulo circuit is Brazil's oldest permanent autodrome. The track design is of inspiration from pre-made circuits, Brooklands in the UK, Roosevelt Raceway in the USA, and Montoya in France. Having been scheduled as the season finale multiple times from 2004, a number of F1 drivers have been crowned world champions here in Brazil.
Sorry about that. I am back for the crucial part of it. Really sorry, I was gone a little while there. So as I said, we should have Liam, our co-commentator, back in soon. See Ginge retired from the session. You still haven't seen anyone go past in show since I've been gone. As we now wait for Sticky Panda to make his way to the line. I think he's just started a lap there, which he has. And also got Matt F1. He's also just starting a lap as well. We've got Liam in the party now. I think we're just waiting for him to join the session as well.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. We haven't spoke for ages, and it's quite strange that we're speaking on a live stream for the first time in a long time.
Small world, this racing community, isn't it, I suppose? How we've come to connect once again. I am just joining the session now, so I should be with you momentarily.
That's fine. There you go. You say, remember to press triangle. Don't press start.
No. I do comms occasionally, so I'm a seasoned veteran in that, don't worry.
Yeah, I know. I've done it many a time though where I've joined late and I've just pressed X. It's, yeah, not good when that happens. So, Looney Man has retired from the session. Matt F1 had invalidated that lap.
I always get confused with it being full quality. Do they just take dark? Will it just be 3 drivers that miss out, or is it?
Yeah, it's 3 drivers.
Right, okay.
It's the bottom 3 that are going to go. You missed it before, so we actually do something on a Thursday that's, I enjoy it actually. It's kind of me and Lee, who usually is here on this Thursday, came up with, called the Intermediate Championship, right? So in Q1, they get the first 8 minutes to set a lap on the intermediate. Anyone can do it, you don't have to do it. And then whoever wins that, we just tally it up at the end of the season. So that's quite interesting, because people do crash. So So you missed that, and Tiny won that, who's now down in 18th, as you can see, because he's still only done his intermediate time, if you're wondering why people are on intermediates.
Right, so that's an intermediate time, is it? That's what I see.
So, just over 1 minute left to go, and the top 6, I'm assuming you can see everything now. The top 6, well, I was going to say a little bit cocky, but maybe not.
I'm just riding on board with Tiny's 50% down on his battery. I don't know if he was on a push lap and bailed out. So he's extremely low on the battery for a push lap. Only 32 seconds left in the session as well.
Yeah. So this is his final attempt, isn't it, as he comes into Pico de Passo?
It will be, pretty much. He's coming behind 2 Alpines, might get a cheeky little bit of a slipstream. I think given from that Alpine there. But he has just put a purple sector 2 in there, I believe, Tiny. It is looking rather fast. The Ferrari, good enough for the front row, Joe. 108.597.
Still got Dario on a lap as well, Perm Bowden as well. He's been knocked out in Q1 only 1 of the 3 times, got himself into Q2 obviously twice after that, but never got any further than that as he comes into Pico de Passo. Is he going to get himself into Q2 for the 3rd time this season, as we wait for Dario to see the checkered flag? Only his 2nd race of the season. He's a rookie for season 15. And he stays 16th fastest. Did go just over a 10th faster, however.
He's coming through as well. See if he can get himself out. Only good enough for 17th with the Ferrari swapping over positions.
So
the 3 drivers that are out.
This, yeah, it was quite close actually. So down to 16th, it was just over a second in Q1 to 1st place. I was going to say pole, but it's not pole.
The provisional pole, I'll say. So with you obviously doing comms multiple times in this division, if you they'll be able to hear me, won't they?
Yes, I'm assuming so.
That's on.
Can everyone else hear a second person? Let me know in the comments if you can't.
Just talking to yourself.
Or and just a disclaimer, I'm not mental.
Yeah, it's been a while, but last time I checked, you didn't have dementia.
Last time I checked, you didn't have a child, so. But that just threw me off.
No, I did. I just didn't. I've got.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, you did. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, a new one. A new one.
Did you go to the shop to get that one? Did you? Where did you go to Tesco's?
No, I thought the Madonna's been pushing the rates up recently. Oh, probably on mediums. I just saw as well. P5 and the Haas.
Yeah. So we'll just
intermediates. I can see that now.
Quickly
went out on the wets. I can see as well.
Yeah, I don't know why he went out on the wets. That was quite strange. Chuck was 1st, 2nd was Tiny, and Pippa Kennedy was 3rd. And your bottom 3 are Dario, Perm Bowden, and GT Ord. So just to fill you in a little bit, right? There's 2 reserves tonight, which is Sticky Panda and Prodigy. Now they just get pulled out at the end, like they didn't exist, and everyone bumps up. That's the rules for RTG. Okay. Yes. Okay. So if one of those Prodigy 2 win,
Panda come 1 and 2 with Super Striker 3rd, he wins basically.
Yes, and I've been doing this a long time for RTG now, like almost 2 years, and it's been a rule the whole time. And then last week, I haven't mentioned it yet. Last week it was a great race, right? A driver called Paul Jones went around the outside at the final braking zone. Well, no, the heavy braking zone in China, the hairpin. Went around the outside on the chase, where there was a 1-stop versus a 2-stop, and he was on the softs chasing. Went around the outside there and then won the race. And then after I finished the stream, I suddenly realised he was a reserve and he didn't actually win. So...
Wonderful. So was that the first time a reserve has won then?
No. I just forgot in the heat of the moment that he was. I just wanted it to happen, I suppose, and just didn't want to believe he was a reserve. But there you So yeah, anyone that's watching from last week, sorry.
So Royal Rumble's out first for the Williams. It's the Alfa Romeo of Looney Man after that.
So we shouldn't see any intermediates or anything now. It's only a Q1 thing, and it doesn't happen on a Monday because it's short qualifying. So it's only a Thursday thing, and it's only a Q1 thing. So unless anyone, we did have it in the first race actually. I think was it the first or second race where first race when someone decided to come out on interiors in Q2, but they didn't in Q1. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. So
maybe just getting his eye in. Where was it? Was it?
Miami.
Electra, I would say. It hasn't really raining at Miami, I would say, too often anyway.
So who do we say was first? Did we say it's Looney Man?
It was the 9, 10 and 11. I think it was Royal Rumble, Looney Man and then Prodigy. Although I think Prodigy's let the Red Bull Superstar.
Yeah, it's Looney Man. Oh, well, sorry, yeah, Royal Rumble. He started first. He was quite a bit ahead of everyone else. He makes his way through Curve de Sol.
Yeah.
So
Tiny and Super Striker on their lap as well. Actually, missed them. They've flown through. A couple of cars have possibly let them through on their outlap.
So we've got Royal Rumble up first. He's going to hit a bit of traffic as well, as there is a yellow flag in that final sector as he comes up to Pico Tapato. Turn 10 and then into 11 and 12 of Young Cow. And then makes his way up the hill.
Very close to one another.
So I do have another little stat as well for a bit later on in Q3. I've got the pole time when we were last here about 3 or 4 months ago. As Royal Rumble does 109.1, and the pole time for that race was a 107.833. So I wonder if we'll beat that today. 108.7 for Tiny there, the first one to get into the 108s, and then Prodigy with a 108.6. Now, don't be surprised if you see this man on the front row. This for the start of the race, even though he's a reserve, he's usually in GP1, and this is the second tier of RTG. As Pippo Kennedy, our championship leader, now goes on to first place. Not provisional pole. Always have to tell myself that every time.
the lap of the Haas, he was actually on the mediums. So that P2 time at the moment is on the medium compound tyres. So I would suggest he's got a bit more time in him.
Maybe just a little bit. There's Queeks Gamer, 108.4. And I'm assuming as well, you do know some of these names, a few of them.
So from top down, I know Chuckle Ginge from Super Strikers League. Burnt Rubber, shout out to Burnt Rubber. And obviously I know Super Striker, I've known him for a long time. Whoa! Prodigy into the back! Is it Super Striker possibly? I think it is. Wheel off, Joe.
I did not catch that.
I was just riding on board it.
Oh, so Prodigy's at best starting 10th. He may get knocked out in Q2.
How does it work with the time though? Because you set the time.
So he automatically drops down to 10th because that's technically the best he's going to be if he gets through to Q3. It's a weird system how they do it in the game. And then when we go into Q3, there'll only be 9 drivers if he stays in the top 10. So everyone's got to beat the 108.6. That's technically now the benchmark for Q2.
So if Lee goes round and beats and gets a 109.
Yeah, he'd still get up there, but it'd be between 8th and 9th. I know, it's so difficult to get.
Welcome to EA. Lee's just started using Lee. He's just at a purple sector 2, about to cross the line now. That Red Bull, good enough for 4th, second row.
And you'll also notice as well, as we get further on, the quali times are so competitive here as well, get so close together. The newbie, Strictly Panda, in his first race up to a 108.6 and up to third. Sorry, a 108.6 and up to third. A 108.8 for Looney Man, the next one. And now we've got a bit of a wait for someone out, as Matt F1 is on an out lap. So there's a bit of a split as well for pole positions at the moment. We've had 3 different pole sitters: Pippa Kennedy, Chuck, and Queeks Gamer is the other 2.
So week 3, week 4.
No, Pippa Kennedy, Queeks Gamer, and Chuck. Did I say Chuckle as well?
So this is week 4.
Yeah, this is week 4, round 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you everything, didn't I? So you can see.
Yeah.
Pippa Kennedy's in the lead of the championship, then Chuck, then Queeks Gamer, as it stands. And Matt F1 is now on a flying lap as he makes his way down the hill.
Did you say Prodigy the reserve?
Prodigy and Sticky Panda.
I think I know what's happened. I think a lot of it looks like, just from watching Jim go in the pits there, that the pit lane entry is manual, I assume.
Yes.
Yes, I think he has thought it's auto. I think he's just gone flying into the pits, obviously thinking that obviously with auto, with off, it stops you, doesn't it? So you don't get a penalty. So you can go flying into full speed.
Maybe just I'd actually arguably say that it's more maybe not paying attention.
Maybe. Matt about to cross the line, complete his lap. Beats Super Striker's medium time, 109.377.
And we're still waiting for
drivers. 7 minutes left. Possibly get 2 more goes.
Yeah, if they were to come out now, I think Royal Rumble now, I think he would have been on a lap, but he's invalidated the time.
Yeah. He'll be going again with that full battery though, no doubt.
And like you said, he will have enough time to do 2 laps still as he's out on the track. Yeah. Has he got fuel though to do it? Yes, he has. 2.1, because it's a short track here, isn't it?
Red. Oh no, that's his. I always forget, what's the one on the bottom right?
That's your deployment. The charge is the left, deployment is the right, top right is battery.
No, the spanners on the right.
Oh, you've got that. Pits, I think.
Oh, it was red for Royal Rumble, but it's now.
Yeah, I believe it's the pit.
It's translucent.
So we'll see what kind of time Royal Rumble can put in here. He does a personal best in the first sector. He makes his way out of turn 4 and 5 up the hill to turn 6, where we sometimes see battles carry on through here, but usually ends by this point at turn 8. As he just comes to the timing beacon for sector 2. He's just over, he's a 10th and a half up on his timer. Another personal best.
He's only going to put in P11 though, so he needs to gain some more time in this third sector, Joe, to save him for Q3. And he has done. Just 0.003 of a second behind Looney Man in the Alfa Romeo. Good enough to beat his teammate Chuck, who he's on a lap, and he's just started purple sector 1.
Going around turn 7 of Ferragula there, who was on full throttle so early. really on the pace, maybe too much on the pace there as he gets the rear end out before going into Pica de Pato and then out to Magula as we ride on down the hill towards Junkel. Be careful in the brakes there because the grass will catch you out on the right hand side as we exit and full throttle towards the line now and trying to take the line of least resistance. DRS open.
Really interesting time. Is Super Striker coming through now, the Red Bull. He's about 7 or 8 tenths up on his time, so it's going to be a huge improvement from P14 across the line. Good enough for P5, the third row. Pits his teammate RTG Lee.
And Danny now setting his first lap and getting himself just inside the top 10. We still haven't got to that cut-off time of 1:08.6 by Prodigy, who subsequently moved down to 10th place. Is Prof going to be able to get himself out of Q2 and get into Q3? I'm not sure if he's got enough time to get in and get out again, maybe just.
I think it depends what's his teammate doing. If he's going to get held by his teammate's already out, so that's fine. It's about 30 seconds, I would say, on average, so a minute either way. 150. Yeah, I reckon he could. He has to be quick.
Have we got anyone on a lap?
Chuckles on a lap, I believe. In P6, he is 46 thousandths of a second slower through sector 1, and there is traffic ahead, yellow flags, and it's even the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo swapping positions. Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo are very, very close to one another again, both of them allowing that Mercedes through now. Is this Junkel?
The final braking zone's Junkel. He's actually going quite quickly at the moment, isn't he, Chuckle?
Yeah, he has that purple sector 2 across the line for the Mercedes driver, taking that inside line to the wall. 108.463, so that is the first row, only a couple of hundredths, sorry, off the Alpha Tauri. Koix Gamer. Got another Red Bull coming through. Is that Lee on an out lap? Beginning his lap now. Very interesting seeing when people, especially in places like Brazil, when people turn their ERS deployment on. Because a lot of people, like Lee now, I mean, he's coming into turn 3, 4. He's already below 50% on his battery. I always get it activated just as I cross the line, as opposed to what a lot of people tend to do is the back end of the straight.
Oh really? You save it, do you?
Sorry. Yeah, I save it because the time the time only starts from where the line is, and the line's not too far from the braking zone. So if you're going 195 as opposed to 202 or whatever you are with the ERS, you know, it's only for 100 meters or so, and then you've got more battery because Lee's coming up this back straight. He's got 20%. He has set the perfect sector 2. I could just be talking shit, but that's me. 9-8%.
Yeah.
You know, as he crosses the line, it's going to, 2-3% left. And only 1,000th of a second, actually, just spotted that, 1,000th of a second behind Chuckle.
As we now see the checker flag, and remember what I said a minute ago, Liam, about the how close the times can be going into Q3. I mean, there is really...
Chuckle's not going to improve either. Ginge is going in the pits as well. So no improvement from him. You may feel he's happy. Prof.
Down on his time. And still down on his time. And out in Q2. And it looks like Looneyman's going to be the same as well, and that looks like it's it for Q2, as Looneyman's invalidated. Everyone else has seen the checkered flag in the bottom 5, and there'll only be 9 in Q3, with Prodigy starting 10th.
I was going to ask that, if there's only going to be 9. So will it put him P10 on the grid after the race?
Yes, but you won't see him in Q3, which me and Lee don't mind this now, but we wish that you could at least see him in Q3, just like he is now, like crossed out basically in Q3. You know what I mean? So you still have the 10, and you can remember Prodigy was in 10th. But anyway, yeah, it will be 9 with Ginge being the last one. So they got close to that cut-off time of Prodigy there, didn't they? 1:08.6, but he was able to just stay in. It was on the medium tyre as well.
Yeah, very. Like I say, it would be interesting to see his ascension, if anything, through the grid. Obviously, got pace on that medium compound tyre. The softs a lot faster over a shorter period of time through this circuit. But yeah, it'd be good to see how he gets off the start line, starting in 10th.
So Tiny was the fastest in Q2, followed by Coix Gamer, then Chuckle in 3rd. The drivers will have out in Q2, technically is 6, with Prodigy starting 10th, Danny 11th, 12th Looneyman, 13th Royal Rumble, Prof 14th, and 15th is Matt F1.
That medium time of Prodigy, though, even if he hadn't crashed and just stayed in the pits, it would have still been good enough for P8.
Yeah.
So he was safe with that time. Although Tiny, like you say, the gap is 3/10 from 2nd to 9th. Well, from 2nd to 10th is, 6.5 tenths. And then there's 3/10 from Tiny to 2nd. So it's going to be...
I'm sure it'll get closer than that as well. It usually does.
I have to say, it's a horrible... I don't like racing Brazil because there's just lots of high-speed corners. But if the racing is as close as the times are appearing, it could be quite a good race this evening, Joe.
Hopefully so. As we get underway, we do have the previous 3 pole sitters for this season in Q3.
A little commentator's fun, Joe. Some money. Actually, no, because I don't know who the race winner this evening.
I don't know. I wouldn't like to call it. That's the thing. It's actually quite good. How many race winners have we had? Well, we've had 3 different ones already. So we've had Tiny winning a race, Pippa Kennedy, and Chuckle winning the other. So I wouldn't actually like to put my money on it, to be honest.
I'll go with my guy in 10th. Medium
Prodigy.
Prodigy, yeah.
But he won't technically win because he's a reserve.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that, and should he could have taken the money, couldn't you?
So, who is up first? I think it's the Red Bull of Lee. Yeah.
It's Lee, Kennedy, Tiny. And then we've got Lee and Coix Gamer just biding the time, giving each other some hugs.
So Lee setting a 17.093 in the first sector. And who do we have up after that? It's the Aston Martin. After that, and Super Striker. Sorry, the Aston Martin. He was on that Pippa Kennedy. Was he set up?
Yeah, Kennedy is on a fast lap now. It's because the McLaren's in the middle of them.
So his lead comes to the line. It's a 108.6, 5/10 off the fastest time in Q2. Super Striker is next after him. Oh, sorry, Pippa Kennedy's next after him. A 108.2 for him. Then Tiny with a 108.3. And then we have a little bit of a wait.
Next with Super Striker and Sticky Panda are the next three.
What time is Coit's Gamer going to put on the board here? Been on pole already this season. He goes second fastest. Super Striker didn't put in the best lap, nor did Sticky Panda. They're 5th and 6th at the moment. Very close between the front three though. As Ginger's going to be the next one up, as the two Chuckle brothers are just making their way around the lap to start their hot lap.
To me.
To you. Lee's never done that with me. Never.
No.
Not once. I don't think so. No. Ginge now making his way to the line as the, as I said, the two Chuckle brothers now have started their lap, and Ginge goes 5th fastest.
0.03 of a second faster than Super Striker. Very, very close. Oh, I know Sticky Panda. He's already done a lap.
Yes,
Sorry,
he has.
Chuck, I was watching, sorry.
So it's Chuck, then Chuckle after that. Putting in personal best sectors, but not setting fastest sectors. While we wait for Chuck to make his way to the line, he goes on to the second row in 4th place, and then Chuckle just sitting behind him on the next row with a 108.5 dead.
A stack of RTG drivers. Somewhat of a... No. Keep it PG.
I don't know. I only do. Well, I do Burnt Rubber Racing as well, but it's a lot of the same people. These quite quick times, are they?
Over a second separates first and 9th at the moment.
Do you know what sort of lap time you can do it, Brazil?
With or without bumpers. These days, my racing requires much the same as my bowling skills. Is I need the fucking bumpers up. I find lots of walls these days.
Do you not race very much anymore?
Yeah, I took ages off it, and I go with bits and bobs through it. Our commentator isn't with us anymore, but that makes it sound like he's dead. He's not dead. He's alive as far as I'm aware. But
just being a bit flaky, was he?
No, not even flaky. No, he's absolutely saddled to pieces. He just something came up, some private stuff. So he
someone died.
He killed someone. No, I just need. Yeah, I just took up.
They get PlayStations in prison, don't they? It's not an excuse.
Yeah, he lives in Kuwait there, bless him. So I don't know what the prisons are like in Kuwait.
Yeah, okay, probably not very good. It's Pippo Kennedy now making his way down to Cedar Lago and then out towards Ferragula on his second flying lap already. He hasn't seemingly gone faster than his original lap time.
I wonder if some people are listening to this whilst they're racing, so I've just seen Super Striker keep his battery on the back straight until just before the line.
I think some do on occasion. We've not got many viewers this evening. We usually have a few more than what we've got at the moment. But
he's just over 4 tenths up Super Striker at the minute.
A 108.009 for Pippo Kennedy. And as you said, Super Striker almost half a second up on his previous attempt, which would pull him a couple of places up, potentially pipping his teammate. And these two decided to go out of sync as well, haven't they?
5.5 tenths. Going to put him maybe just above Lee. Going to be in and around his teammates' vicinity. Possibly his last push in Q3. Oh, he's just 28 thousandths of a second behind his teammate there, Joe. It's very, very close.
It's very close, and it's his first time into Q3 this season as well. So you shouldn't be too disheartened about that. Yeah.
Oh, congrats on I call him Ginge. It's going to be really annoying having someone called RTG Ginge.
Yeah, that makes it difficult. The Chuck and Chuckle's difficult as well.
We've got two in Red Arrows. It's a nightmare. Well, there was... Because Liam is... Well, Super Striker's called Liam. He is Ginger. And he races in a McLaren and he won. And at the end of the stream, around it was when he crossed the line, it was like... I can't even remember, but it was like his hair's the same colour as his car. Liam wins the race. But we have a driver called Bo, and then we've got a driver called Boo, like Boo Boo or Boobo. They were racing last week, so it was like Boo Bo Boo 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 Bo Bo Boo Bo. It's like, boys, you're gonna have to change your name.
Yeah, there's been some colourful names that there was Jizz on Me. That was interesting. I got over the laughing phase of that. I had to. It took a while. He was in RTG. He's left now, but kind of thankfully. I don't mean that in any bad sense, but it was a difficult name. Anyway, as you said, loads of the cars are now out on track, and Chuckle leads that pack. Lee has actually decided to start a lap a little earlier than everyone else as he goes on into his final attempt.
A little laps and gear changes there. I think he's downshifted maybe one gear too many. Through turn 4. Hopefully it's not affected his time very much. Aston Martin slowing down, not impeding, which is great to see. Yes. So this is young Cal now.
Yeah, into the braking zone here. It's Magulio before that, the long left-hander.
Sector 2 from Lee. Needs 6.5 tenths, is about 1.2 up on his time. Just splitting the Shuffle Brothers.
And who is the next one up now? It will be Chuckle. And he's invalidated his time, so it won't be him. It will fall down to Ginge in the same coloured car as his hair. As he makes his way up the hill and towards the line. We've got...
He's going to get a little bit of a toe.
Chuck after that. Yeah, I think he did. As he goes up a place. He's up by half a second though, however, and now Chuck to the line. He's on the front row. He's not going to claim pole this week, and the Ferrari of Tiny now takes that front row spot in second. 128 dead as well. We're now waiting for the Alpha Tauri of Coits Gamer. He now goes third fastest. After that is
Sticky Panda sticking it in P5.
And now Lee, who is down on his time anyway. And Pippo Kennedy has got pole position. We didn't beat the last time we were here, which was a 107.833, but that was set by Prodigy, who was out in Q2 and will be starting in 10th. But yeah, 6/10, Liam, just over 6/10 between 1st to 9th. You still there? You're on mute?
Yeah, sorry, I mute myself because I'm vaping. No one wants to hear that. I was thinking Prodigy's tyres, his time, was a 108.6 on mediums, I believe, in Q2. So that would have still been roughly good enough for P9 in Q3. So that'd be, like I say, very interesting to see how the race pans out for him. I hope he doesn't bin it in the wall first corner and the commentator's curse actually becomes a thing.
Yeah, hopefully not. So, a 108.9 for 108.009, should I say, for Pippa Kennedy, who takes pole position in his second pole of the season. Tiny is second, third is Coits Gamer, Chuck is fourth, Strictly Panda is fifth, sixth is Lee, Chuckle is seventh, Ginger's 8th, and Super Striker is 9th, and who should be there is going to be 10th place of Prodigy. So, what to tell you before we get started then? We've got to be on our toes, well, especially me, is obviously are going to get us underway, but we've got to be on our toes because we don't have formation laps in RTG, just because they can be, or they used to be, I don't know if they still are, they could be buggy. I don't know if they still are. I presume they are, because otherwise we would have changed it back. So just so you know, so when we look at tyres, we actually just go into the race director on the pause menu to have a quick look. We have a 30-second wait before an admin readies up as well, so we've at least got a minute until we do get going. You've done your mute thing again.
I have, sorry. Just before obviously we go, if I do mispronounce anybody's name, let me know. I raced in the league and went 3 seasons before watching comms and realised that he was calling me Limeski, and it was Liam-esque. So if I'm
thanks,
if I'm mispronouncing things or anything, just let me know.
I love that. That was a nice little disclaimer, but also a dig it at the same time. Nice work.
Yeah.
Nice work. I'm still going to call you it whenever you're doing burnt rubber racing. It's going to happen. Right. It's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen. Anyway, okay. So, Prodigy's down in 10th, isn't he? And what's he going to be starting on? He's starting on the softs by the looks of things. Medium tyres for Pippa Kennedy, hards for Tiny and Coits Gamer. You can do a medium soft here. I'm not sure if it still tells you can't, but you can, because I've seen it commentating before here, as we've done quite a few races in F123, because it's one of the best in my opinion as well. So we should be just about ready to
on board with.
Right, and we're about to get underway. We've got 5 red lights, and we are away for round 4 here in Brazil. And Pippa Kennedy not getting the best of starts here. He's been overtaken by Tiny into turn 1, and he's taken the lead as Sticky Panda now trying to overtake Lee. He now fights back on the outside at Curva de Sol. We've got a car round at the back, 2 cars, I think.
Yeah, it's the McLaren, Mercedes and Danny in P17 of Looneyman. Prof, his teammate, also losing out. We got a Haas round as well of Prodigy on those softs.
What was that about a commentator's curse?
Be quiet, oh my god.
That's
Coins Gamer, he's round as well.
Luckily in RTG we have ghosting on, because otherwise that would have become a very interesting incident. Is Prodigy now getting held up by Coits Gamer as well, as they both had a spin in the first part of the race. Is Prodigy going to go for a move here in Pica Tapato? He certainly is. to the inside and gets past. Soft tyres working well for him now as he's back up to speed and they're back up to temperature again, or cooled down even after the spin. Is now, look at that, Coix Gamer as well, just a sneaky little move at Young Cal.
Into this second lap now, Joe. There's some nice spacing gathering between drivers here. Super Striker's looking for a move at the exit of the centre S's. Down the inside he goes. That's good enough for P7 for the Red Bull.
Nice move from Super Striker there. Are we going to see anyone else? We've got Perm Bowden, the Ferrari off, and that's a VSC deployed, and he's lost his front wing and not able to get back on the circuit just yet, actually getting beached on the curb by the looks of things.
Yeah, we've got the back four drivers as well, just using that opportunity to come and put some fresh tyres on now. Roy Rumble, Looneyman, Danny and Prof. I think Prof might have actually, unfortunately, I think he has, given the space, and I think he got held. His teammate Looneyman was also in the pits as well. Yeah, so it does say that you can do a one-stop here, Joe, on the race strategies. Lap 21 is the 21 to 22, it said.
This BSC as well should help them a little bit. Hopefully it'll stay out long enough. It's Ginge, yeah. He decides to get off the hard tyre. And probably now going to go for soft medium or medium soft would be my guess. Well, he could go for a medium medium at this point as he goes on to the mediums. Oh, he has a front wing change as well, so he had to pit.
I think Perm Bowden's going to manage to get out in front of these. It's a very long virtual safety car, this, almost a lap and a half now. Oh, and Pippo Kennedy, Joe, a drive-through penalty, possibly trying to get the jump on Tiny there. That's going to hurt his potential race hopes massively.
And Prodigy has got himself a drive-through penalty as well.
I think DRS will be active this lap, I believe. I think Chuckle might be looking at making a move on Sticky Panda for P5. Coming up the home straight now, is very, very close to the ring, goes down the inside towards the wall. Move well and truly done before the corner. Great pace from the Mercedes so far.
Yeah, he's certainly having a good time of it. His Coix Gamer is trying to now gain back some places that he lost after the spin on the first lap. As Pippo Kennedy and Prodigy now serve their drive-through penalties. And I think it's going to be close between Ginge and Prodigy. Maybe not as close as I thought.
No. Still very good 3-4, almost 4-car battle here. P4. Chuckle's just trying to clamber back into the DRS zone of Lee. Is behind him. They've got Sticky Panda and Super Striker both advancing now.
Tiny there, he's just set the fastest lap, then Lee, then Chuckle after that. So the driver's now really starting to get into the groove here. Is Tiny though got a 2.5 second lead to the next car and really trying to get himself firmly in the title fight.
Possible overtake later on in the lap. Sticky Panda on the back of Chuckle. Chuckle is flashing, or he was, so he is running quite low on that battery. The Alpine has been notified. I try not to say people's battery percentages as well, just in case people are watching.
Oh, do you know? I don't really. I do sometimes, but I suppose I'm trying. Go on.
I know sometimes people watch them, so I tend not to do it. As I said, that Chuckle.
And that's GT Orbound at Young Cow, and he's beached. And he's reset to track, a rule that's not allowed, something that's not allowed, a rule in RTG, and I think...
Despite you getting beached?
Yeah.
But if you get beached, then you just have to
get
disqualified, and that's the end of the race.
Yeah.
That's a new one. Prodigy, my guy, the fastest lap. Still down in P13 though, some way off the pack. The safety car is the only way, kind of anyways, back 10 I would say.
Sure, I'm going to try and multitask here actually and look at the rules, because I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, I just assumed at that point.
I get it I would understand it on if you just span, but if you beach and you physically can't get off the track, then I know some leagues would an exception to it, but you know, I would understand totally if they just banned it altogether, at least then there's no ifs, buts and onlys. There's Chuck looking down the inside of Lee, there's no move to be had, down into the centre S's, they go. Through the Curvedale Sol now, Chuck's going to have DRS on Lee, up the Retta Aposta, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. It's not. The Williams just fainting the move to the inside, the Red Bull wiser to it. Tiny holding.
I apologise, I just read the rules. So yeah, it just says if you've made, as long as you've made a conscious effort to get on track without resetting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that. It's a good kind of rule to have in place.
Well, there you go. I've learned something new today.
That's what I'm here for, mate.
Every day's a school day.
It is. Chuck, back on the rear of Lee now. Down the home straight, goes down the inside of the Red Bull and gets the move done before the centre S's. However, this is going to open up Chuck through the Curve de Sol and the Retta Aposta with the DRS from the Red Bull. Don't think he's close enough to be able to make a move. Nothing just there yet.
Nice move there from Matt F1. His Prodigy now making up another place as well at the centre S and getting past Ginge. And now Danny and Looney Man having a bit of a drag race here down towards turn 1. Danny, though, got the DRS, so that major advantage at play. And especially as he got a good exit out of Young Cow and made it work before the first turn. So Tiny's just been extending the lead, really, as it stands.
Yeah, he's 3/10 that lap, I believe it was, Joe. It was 2.8 at the start, now 3.1. Just extending ever so much. Right, we've got Chuck opening, RTG Chuck, then the Williams opening up. Under orders from James Vowles now to open up that Williams engine, try and extend the gap, and we've got Chuckle now making a move up the Retta Aposta. I think that's great. He kind of backed out a little bit, Lee, but
yeah, he got past
in order to avoid collision.
Yeah, he got past
down to P4.
Yeah, got past nonetheless. Now it's the two Alpines together. Obviously, one of them being a reserve, so it's going to be taken out anyway. But that's not going to dissuade Sticky Panda to make sure Matt F1, if he is going to get past, he does it in racing conditions. And he's not let past by the looks of things. And Sticky Panda's first ever race in RTG. Oh, GTO 10-second penalty for corner cutting there. Where did he cut the corner?
So I think it's quite a normal one. I think he's gone through just in the middle of sector 2 on the right-hander, and I think he's span and cut across.
Yeah, GTO's now down in 16th. And Prost's not going to be too far behind him once they exit Pico de Pato. As Dario is out, we have a safety car deployed. He's out at the exit of turn 2. That's a strange place to bin it.
Where is it? Where is it? Exit turn.
Kerber de Sol, so sort of turn 2-3. He's gone now, but out of the centre S. Don't see that happen very often, do you?
No, Danny's got a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane as well.
So, is Tiny now going to pit? Do you think?
A very healthy amount of battery as well. Tiny. I've been wishing that he. Well, it won't really matter, but he could have extended his lead further. Tiny's in the pits.
You do see it often, don't you? That really racing drivers or sim racing. Oh, strictly panda there. I think what you were saying earlier about Prodigy thinking it was automatic. I think that's what Sticky Panda thought there.
Very, very close. A lot of people say they read league rules. Well, I'm saying he hasn't, but you know, you see it quite often.
So the majority of pit is Royal Rumble going to pit as well. I think it's pretty safe to say that I don't think he'd lose position actually if he does pit, which he has, because I think Pert and Bowden will pit behind him.
Almost an unsafe pit release there for the Haas team, almost colliding with Ginge.
So Matt F1 having a good race up to now. He's up 9 places. He's in 6th.
They need to bring back the pit stuff that they used to do in like the old F1 games where you had to press buttons to take tyres off and stuff, and if you didn't, you know. L1, L1, triangle, R2.
That's a memory unlocked.
Yeah. Do you know what I remember? You used to have to press the buttons
I do.
And if you did it wrong, it was a shit pit stop.
I do remember
so
actually.
Need to bring back.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, no. It
also,
would be
just
hard.
A general
now,
thought in terms of F1 in real life as well, but they need to bring back refueling. Refueling was so fun.
I disagree. I prefer it without refueling. I think it gets too complicated.
I think it's too complicated. But you have to have a certain percentage of fuel left in your car.
Yeah, but it's simple for viewers though, isn't it? You either finish or you run out of fuel.
Yeah, but that's the same as refueling. You go as fast as you can, and then you run out of fuel. Are you running out of fuel? Oh shit, I need to pit again. Pit in. Oh no, the hose is attached. Drama. Was it the Ferrari? Was it Massa that, or was it Raikkonen that drove down the pits?
Singapore. 2008.
Yeah,
that's how good my memory is.
Couldn't even say.
Was it 07? No, it was 08. It was 08 because it was when he was fighting for the championship, and he lost here, actually.
His home circuit.
Yeah, little savage. Are you looking forward to Aussie Grand Prix? You going to be getting up? Are you going to be staying up?
I'll probably already be up.
Yes, I think if I know you, I think I know why you'll be up.
Yeah.
I would probably be the same, but I'm only going to be able to listen to it because I'm going away on that Sunday morning. I got a flight at 8 o'clock, 10 to 8 in the morning. So fun. I'm going to be up
it. Start of it though, surely. You were able to watch all of it, were you?
No, because my drive to the airport is over 2 hours away. Because it was like a deal with that airport, and if I hadn't have done it, it was going to be like 150 quid more expensive. So I was like, I'll just drive, because I'm a cheapskate like that. Anyway, I'll listen to it, and then hopefully when I've just got to, I don't know, it's not going to be over 2 hours. It'll probably take me an hour and 45 minutes to get there, but I don't like cutting it fine. I've never missed a plane. I tend not to miss one ever. So
you sound like my missus. She's like, we need to get there 3 hours before.
I'm going to get there about 2.5 hours before, give or take.
Nah, I rock up an hour before the flight, kick the doors down of the airport door. Or they actually kick them because they're always sliding. But metaphorically, walk into the airport, kick the doors down, and be like, I'm here for my flight. Never missed a flight.
Fair. But no, I wouldn't. Yeah, it would take me an hour and 45 minutes to get there, give or take. I could not watch the whole race. I could maybe, if I wanted to chance it, watch maybe the first 5 laps, but then I'd have to run out the door. So I couldn't even do that. But no, I'll listen to it, and hopefully I'll get to watch the last bit when I'm stood in like the security queue or something. We'll see.
Just quickly back to the whole, obviously, racing.
What we're here for, yeah.
Yeah. Chuck and Chuckle, the Chuckle brothers, are both on the medium, so I reckon you can get these mediums to the end. Perm Bowden will have to stop again, I believe.
You think they can go 23 laps?
I think they could. They'd be severely slow at the end, but I think that's what they'll be trying. If not, they'll be diving into the pits in 15 laps and putting some softs on and hopefully going for like a 2-stopper sort of thing. If there's no more safety cars, that is.
That'd be what I presume. Tiny now getting us back underway, going rather early here and actually having about half a second lead to the next car. And when I say that, onto the brakes, Chuck got very, very close to the back of the Ferrari there. We're going to see him moves into turn 1. We certainly are. Ginge around the outside there of Pippo Kennedy, and now on the charge for Queeks Gamer, who has got himself a time penalty, as Perm Bowden, who's had another incident now and falling back.
It's not. It's just, I think it's those 10-lap old tyres, Joe. 11 laps now. I think they're just, these new fresh tyres are just lighting up a lot faster. A Ferrari in some sticky mud, it seems. But something to be interested about is Tiny not had much defending to do this race so far. On the, I'd say at the moment, the less superior tyre at the moment, with both Chuckle brothers behind him on the better tyres for the time being. It's going to be interesting to see how he manages to keep them behind front 4. Quite a commanding lead ahead of the rest of the field now, I would say. And Matt F1 UK in the Alpine, somewhat a metaphorical cork in the bottleneck. We had Coix Gamer looking around the outside of Super Strike at the start of the Senna S's. It's giving Matt a little bit of breathing room down Retta Aposta. And we have Ginge, Coix Gamer defending down the inside, then outside. The Haas of Prodigy now side by side with Ginge.
And we've had GT Ord retire in the pits as well. He's the second driver to leave. We're down to 16 of the 18 that started. And we were watching this battle for the midfield fight, which is, as you said a second ago, Matt F1 being the cork in the bottle at the moment. And it's almost like he's got a pack of dogs behind him, isn't it? There's so many of them now. I haven't got DRS yet, but Queeks Gamer gets a good exit as well. And got a lot of his battery left. Not going to give him a certain percentage, but he's got a fair bit left.
Super Cycle looking to make this move now before the Senna S's.
I was going to say, actually, is that the best idea with DRS just being enabled?
Yeah, and no battery. At least the Queeks Gamer now with. They're going to go 3 wide, Joe.
They certainly are. Super Striker getting through, and then Coit's Gamer trying to go to the inside there, which he has done now. And
Ginge looking round the outside of Ferradura, it'll be, and gets the move done. There's very little, almost no contact there. Great racing by these two, but Matt not letting the bone go.
No, he's back into 7th place and got this train of cars behind him, and now we're waiting for this next DRS zone, and his Super Striker now subsequently the cork in the bottle. It seems like this midfield pack are very similar on pace at the moment, and just got this big long train that's formed almost like those truck trains you get in Australia. Is Chuckle and Tiny now switching lead spots, and now seeing Coit's Gamer trying to go the long way round on Super Striker. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Glory to see. Just ride on board the Super Striker's rear wing, watching all these cars go through the CRSs. Covered us all now, Retta Aposta. As Coit's Gamer goes round the outside, move done.
And Jin's trying to get one done as well, and being pushed off the road, and he was just over the white line, I think, and it was very, very aggressive as the two Alpines now switch places as well. And here comes Sticky Panda diving to the inside of his teammate, and now trying to go the long way round. His Mass F1 was in 6th, now down in 10th in just over a lap. Is Royal Rumble and Danny now switching places as well. Pika to Pato, and Danny trying to defend around the outside here.
Yeah, 4 seconds now these front four have on the next pack, but Chuck and Chuckle are going to go for the move. Chuckle and Tiny swapping positions once more down the centre S's, but like we said before, Joe, is it the wise move with this DRS activation up Retta Aposta?
As Prodigy now overtakes Super Striker for 6th, and now on the charge for Coit's Gamer. He has a time penalty though, however, the same as Coit's Gamer, both on 3 seconds as it stands. Is proper Royal Rumble there, switching places, and the Alpines once again switching places as well, and no team orders and Alpine right now. And as they make their way up the hill to Ferradura, Sticky Panda is taken 10th place back and just got himself inside the top 10.
We approach Young Cow now. These front three still all within the DRS range of one another, but Chuckle just extending that gap just a little. Oh, Chuck on the exit of Young Cow, as we just mentioned, a very slippy exit, just manages to keep himself within that DRS range. I don't think there's going to be any moves. I think anyone's going to be close enough into the ZRSs just here. Prodigy again getting that charge done as Piffo Kennedy makes a move past Super Striker into the ZRSs as well. Like you say before, Joe, these drivers are very, very equal on pace, I would say. Super Striker coming back now with that DRS and gets the moves back done on Kennedy.
Yeah, it's been very, very close up to now. We've got this front three fight for the lead. Obviously, Tiny trying to get another win like he did in Japan in the second race, and Pippo Kennedy there getting out of shape out of turn 9 as we go into turn 10. Pika Tapato through Majulio down the hill into Young Cow. And Super Striker, they're getting out of shape and losing the back end, keeping it on the tarmac, however, though, but drops down to 10th. It may be 11th as well, with Matt F1 obviously having the advantage of getting a clean exit out of Young Cow, and he goes all the way down to 11th place as Ginge now dives to the inside at turn 1 and overtakes Pippa Kennedy for 7th place as Coit's Gamer now gone out of DRS range and very, very close with Prodigy and trying to work together, I think, to try and catch up to Lee, who's in no man's land at the moment. Yeah,
just kind of running his own race at the moment. He has depleted that battery in search of this front three pack. So with them all so close, I think a lot of them are running quite low. There's going to be no real difference in drivers with their ERS levels. Everyone's just using it, trying to overtake one another. Okay, Ginge now the lead in the bottleneck. Kennedy shown intent now down this home straight in previous laps to get a move done into the centre S's. Here he comes once again down the inside. The Aston Martin comes. A little bit of a connection lost, but through the centre S's, Pippo Kennedy takes P7. But will it be like lap previous, where Super Striker then retook the place on Pippo Kennedy? Doesn't look like Ginger's going to have enough speed, even with the help of that DRS. And Pippo Kennedy keeps P7.
And now seeing Matt F1 going past Super Striker on the exit of Cedar Largo. And he's up into 11th. Whilst that was going on as well, Chuck and Tiny have been fighting wheel to wheel in that first sector. Chuckle still remaining in the lead, and Chuck actually just sitting back at the moment, just enjoying the view ahead of him, maybe hoping for these two to come together and almost be like Moses parting the sea and just taking the lead of the race. But we don't know just yet, and we've got a long way to go as Tiny now tries to take back the lead spot again. Leading man getting past Danny as well.
Oh, a little bit of contact in the centre S between these two Alpine drivers. Again, just like you said, Sticky Panda refusing to give up despite being a reserve. That's what you want to see, the tenacity of drivers on track. Teammates deciding, I don't think they've decided anything. I think they're just wanting to beat each other on track, aren't they? Good old scrap between teammates. Through Ferradura they go. Super Striker just looking on. It's pretty much the same as Chuck, possibly hoping for these two to have a coming together.
And since the safety car, no one has picked since then. And it's going to be quite interesting to see if those medium runners, like you said, can go to the end. Because that might
what I would do.
Against the hard tyre, though, it's not really going to be any match, is there?
No, but maybe Chuck and Chuckle thought they could gain an advantage on Tiny, speed off maybe, or maybe hope for a safety car. But it's going to be very. I'd say those medium tyres are going to be feeling it, if not already in a couple of laps. Like I say, it would be a stretch to get them the distance, but Tiny on those hards, I think he's done a great amount of defending. I think this is going to be kind of the switch over point, Joe, don't you, where those hard compound tyres start not coming into their own, but exceeding the grip ability of those medium tyres.
Yeah, it certainly is going to, as you said, cross over. Maybe not giving Tiny enough credit, actually. He's on the hards and he's leading the race as well, so the hards working well for him. But as we go into turn one, as we start lap 24, that's not the case. Chuck will taking back the lead, and Chuck staying in third place, which he has done since the safety car ended. And as I said, just enjoying the view ahead at the moment, and doesn't want to get involved until he really needs to.
I think what a lot of these drivers like Super Striker, who's stuck behind two cars battling, Chuck behind Tiny and Chuckle. I think this is a perfect opportunity for those drivers in particular to start harvesting some ERS, Joe. As you can see from the driver's point of view, pretty much everyone is on that flashing stage of the battery. So during the latter points of the race, having some ERS stored for a couple of cheeky overtakes would be quite handy.
Yeah, and I also wonder if any of these guys in the mediums will take that gamble in the next lap or so and go on to the soft tyre. Maybe go for the chase.
I think any more than 10, if you're not pitting this or next lap. Oh, Prodigy. As we speak, he started on the softs. Yeah, but it's just a straight tyre swap for him. So his gap from the leaders, he exits the pit lane. We'll see what I'll let you know what the gap is, Joe, to see how much he has to chase down. He's 26 seconds behind the leader. He's going to chase them, but where was he before he pitted? Was he P10?
Something like that.
So he's 10 seconds from P10.
Yeah, so Prodigy obviously opting to go for that chase in the end, but it's still got a few laps, but the lap times here are short.
I think he'll need about a second a lap. For the Super Striker just sitting behind this Alpine of Matt F1 as he switches to the outside now, which has the inside line through the centre S's. The move's done. As you said again, Joe, is he going to leave him vulnerable up the Retta Aposta? There we have it. Matt goes down the outside of Super Striker like he did against Matt 2 corners previous, and Matt back into that P7 for the Alpine.
So once again, oh, look at this. Young Cow, Chuckle, Tiny, and Chuck now is starting to get a little bit more feisty as we about to start lap 27. I wonder if Chuck is going to get involved here now as Chuckle enters the pits and goes for that soft chase.
I think he's called it too late, Joe.
Yeah, maybe.
He should have been done a lap before.
Because where's it going to bring him out? It's going to bring him out around Prof and Looney Man, isn't it? Something like that. Sorry, Prof and Royal Rumble. But he pits as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be Prof and Royal Rumble. And he's just going to be ahead of Prof. He is 19.5 seconds to go. I don't think it's going to be enough. We'll keep a track on that progress of Chuckle. Obviously, he does have the danger of having to overtake cars, but we've seen with these DRS trains that have been forming up and down the grid, it is quite hard to overtake round into Lagos. It is into Lagos, isn't it? It is. Chuckle already all over the back of Looney Man.
Yeah, so I don't think that's going to be a fight worth fighting for Looney Man, as Chuck now takes the lead of the race for the first time this evening, and I think he's going to go with Plan Liam here and maybe go to the end.
Chuckle now already 3 seconds taken out on the leaders on that first lap. So it's going to be quite tasty. See how far he can get. Especially with Chuck and Tiny as well, fighting through the ZRSs pretty much every lap. That's going to hinder their progress as well, as we've got Chuckle coming up to the back of Matt F1 and Super Striker. If you just ride on board with these, Joe, these softs are absolutely on fire. For Chuckle, I'd expect to see the fastest lap, possibly. But this is the problem that he's going to have now, getting held up by that Alpine of Matt. Okay, much better exit here through Young Cow. Is unable to get that Alpine, making itself as wide as possible. Chuckle having to use that battery now.
Whoa!
Oh, Chuckle, that's...
Wow.
I think that's going to be it. Is it an illegal overtake, Joe, possibly?
We'll find out. You probably got a... Would you check if you got a warning for that? Out of interest.
I will do.
That was interesting, though. He's not opted to give the place back.
Track limits.
I suppose he got his penalty, didn't he?
He got two. He got 22 warnings on lap 28.
But in some ways, that was interesting because I think Matt thought he was going into the pit and actually didn't give him any space.
No, I think the car ahead, Super Strike, I think he dove into the pits as well, and I think, as I say, Chuckle just took a very similar line. Chuckle 13.5 seconds now from the leader. Has some fresh air as the leader. We're talking about them, Chuck and Tiny swapping positions.
As well as Coix getting rid of Lee.
RTG Lee and Coix as well.
Yeah, Chuck's doing his brother a bit of a solid here, isn't he? Because he's fighting with Tiny, and obviously that will be giving lap time away and giving the advantage to Chuckle to catch up. Yes.
All right, that makes perfect sense then.
Yes, they are.
6 laps, 12 seconds to the leaders now, so he's going to have to get 2 seconds a lap. I don't know if it's going to be good enough.
Well, when the next lap times come in, I'll let you know. It was a 17.9 in the first sector and only a 17.6 for Chuckle in the first sector, but I suppose it's only a couple of corners. It's really sector 2, which we've just come out of. A 36.9 and a 37.3 for Tiny in the second sector, and Chuckle doing a 35.5 in that second sector. So a lot quicker as these two again, Tiny and Chuck, side by side into turn 1, and actually it was all done before turn 1. And the last lap was a 1:12.7 and a 1:12.6. Chuckle doing a 1:10.4, so 2 seconds faster.
Pits, Joe. Oh. RTG Lee pitting from P4 to put the softs on with only 5 laps remaining. That's going to drop in all the way out of the points, possibly.
And right by his teammate, I think, or maybe just ahead of the Mercedes of Danny. Would he get himself back into the top 10? There are points all the way down to 20th in RTG, okay. So he will still get some points, but obviously the higher the place is still, the more points you get. And
yeah.
Chuckle.
Under 10 seconds the gap.
Yeah. It's close. It's very, very close.
I have to say, though, Chuck, like you said, despite if Chuck gets a podium with those, which I think he will, with those 25 plus lap all tyres by the time he finishes this race, Joe, it's an effort and a half, I have to say.
It certainly is. He's stuck with him. I think he played a really good game after the safety car by just staying back and, as I said, enjoying that view, because I think he was just saving his tyres. So he's got a lot more to play with now.
Chuckle getting quite lucky on a couple of cars pitting after he did, so that's given, as we spoke, Joe, Chuckle with that 3-second time penalty, which is going to hurt him.
He may, which he's allowed to do, if he doesn't get another warning, he'll be allowed to appeal it from that other, which I think he probably gets, because there was nowhere else for him to go. But then the question of should he have had the overtake then might come into play, but he can appeal it. So
Yeah.
it may change.
Onto the back of Pippo Kennedy. I'm not sure if he manages to get. He did get the DRS, Joe. So up Retro-Aposta, a possible move for P4 if Chuckle can squeeze that Mercedes ever so closer to the Aston Martin ahead of him. I don't think he's going to be close enough.
Quick's game it now. Got 9 seconds of penalties to his name.
Just look at the battery between the front two as well quickly, Joe. So I don't want to give too much away, but I think that gives away what the strategy is going to behold.
Yeah, but they've both still got plenty, haven't they? They're not lacking.
Yeah.
And that's not giving too much away.
I don't think it'll be enough though. Oh, the young cow Tiny just sliding a bit through the exit.
Yeah, well, the hard tyres now not going to be in the best of shapes now, are they? Is Chuckle now looking to dispatch Pippo Kennedy? I think you were right though. I think Chuckle may have left this a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Maybe a lap or two earlier, he might have had a better chance. And
100%.
Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a no-brainer. Chuckle's not in such a good place in terms of his battery. Just by making so many overtakes up, he's had to use some more of it. Hope I'm being cryptic enough.
Watching, is there any? I guess people are watching.
Yeah, there are a few. Yeah, we're not talking to ourselves, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only 5.5 seconds off the lead, though. It's tantalisingly close. I mean, when he comes out the next couple of corners, he's probably going to be able to see them into turn one.
That penalty as well, that would put him into P3. He probably will get P3 on track anyway.
Yeah, it's whether Chuck can get a result in it. One thing that we always do as well around this time, to start having a little think about, we get to pick the driver of the day.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, so just have a little think. Obviously, Prodigy and
Chuck going down the inside. Chuck takes the lead of the race, Joe.
Yeah, with 1.5 laps to go, and Pippo Kennedy is out and crashed out at the end of the Retro-Aposta. And our championship leader doesn't look like he's going to be leading the championship when we go on to the next round in Belgium next week. He will still be classified because he's done over 90% of the race distance, so he will get some points, but he's not going to get as many points as he was hoping for. And keep an eye out for this. Has Chuck done this 1 lap too early, or is he hoping for maybe a drag race to the line on lap 36? And while that's all going on, Chuck will now try and take.
Going into the pits?
I think the tyres were going to. The tyres were going to go, I think. Maybe he was worried the tyres were going to go.
A lap, Joe. 1 lap.
Oh, he must have thought. He must have thought they were going to. They were literally going to pop. Oh, I know what you mean, though. Was it worth the risk going for 1 more lap?
I know, a lap.
And he was still... Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to message him after this and see why his decision was to do that. He's definitely not a reserve. He's not a reserve. That's the only reason why I'd say he would pit if he was a reserve, just to move himself down a bit.
He wanted to guarantee points.
But looks like that could be the only option. I mean, he couldn't have gone the wrong direction. He's gone in the right direction for 35 more times. And on the last, 34. And then on the 35th time, he suddenly decided he didn't know where he was going. But anyhow, Tiny wins the Brazilian Grand Prix and takes his second win of season 15. Chuckle comes home in second, and it was close.
Ginge and Chuck, it's going to be a drag race, Joe. Down the pit straight. Ginge has no battery. Chuck has a little.
This is going to be very close. Oh,
is it going to be in the line?
It's Chuck.
Oh, Chuck's just scraped P5.
And there was another one as well, Matt F1.
Pete.
And Lee, look how close that was as well. Look at the back as well, we've missed them. Danny and Looney Man as well. There was a few drag races to the line. And after 36 laps, I know there was a safety car about 20 laps ago, but that was still very close between some of them, right to the bitter end. We're just waiting for Pern Bowden to finish off his race as he makes his way into Young Cal for the final time. But when we go on to Brazil, we're in Brazil now. When we go on to Belgium next week, we'll have a driver who's won 2 races this season, and the first one to do that.
Very, very nicely done.
Well, it was a bit anticlimactic. I was looking forward to that final lap, and Chuck kind of ruined it for us. But it was
he did, didn't he?
A deserved winner. So, any thoughts on driver of the day? I'll do the rundown quickly, and we can think. Just have a little think. Obviously, Prodigy and Sticky Panda not allowed to be driver of the day as they're reserved. It's only for full-time drivers.
Okay, that's fine.
As I do the order, if it will let me do it. Bear with. Is it just saying please wait for you as well?
I've got the order.
Oh. Yeah, nothing's coming up for me, weirdly. I've got the order here as well. Because I've got. Oh, here we go. Right, Tiny wins his second race of the season. Chuckle finished in second after that 3-second penalty. May be going to the stewards to ask that to be removed. Prodigy finished in third, but he was a reserve. Great comeback drive from him, however, though. But it does mean Coix is on the podium. Fifth is Chuck, Ginger 6th, 7th is Lee, Mass F1 is 8th, 9th is Super Striker, and Looney Man rounds out the top 10. But really, Danny rounds out the top 10. Sticky Panda is 12th on the road, 13th is Prof, 14th is Royal Rumble. Pern Bowden is 15th. The whole grid ended up in a Ferrari sandwich. Pippo Kennedy was classified, but he technically didn't finish. GT Ord and Dario were the only 2 truly not to finish this race. So, thanks everyone who watched along for that one. We'll be back next Monday with GP1. It won't be with me because, as I said, I'm away, so you'll have Lee for that one instead of me. And then it'll be back again with me and Lee as usual next Thursday. And before that, I'll have Burnt Rubber Racing on the Wednesday. Driver of the day, though, before we go. Any ideas?
Chuckle for me. I think he started P7. Good enough to take that second plinth on the podium. Great race for him. I think it would have been his brother Chuck for me if there hadn't been that last minute pit. But Chuckle for me in the Mercedes. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I'm happy with Chuckle. As you were the guest this evening, I'll let you pick. So there you go, Chuckle, driver of the day. Anyway, yeah, as I said, we'll be back on Monday with Lee. Thanks, Lee, for joining us. That was really appreciated. As Lee couldn't be here. Hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, right, we'll be back next week. We'll see you then. And it's goodbye from me and from Liam as well.
Take care, guys.